Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
All right, we're going to start out with a really interesting interview I came across. It's actually with Brendan Wayne, the grandson of John Wayne, one of the in-the-suit actors for Din Djarin. We know Brendan Wayne and Lateef Crowder are the majority of the on-screen Mando we see, with Pedro coming in just to pretty much do the voice and any face reveals that possibly happen. Those two created the character's distinct body language and personality that we see. Brendan Wayne kind of discussed his role and career so far. He has had massive creative influence on Din Djarin as a character, something that is understandable given how much time he's in the suit. As he puts it, he executes the ideas from Favreau and Filoni through the body language of the character. He says, "John and Dave really honed in me was that simplicity of the Mandalorian. I look through my nose, so where my nose points is where I look. Then if somebody is to the side, I go turn, and we're dealing with the camera, so if I turn too far, it's too far."
I'm really starting to wonder how much Pedro Pascal is actually in the suit.
Or there at all.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even have to be on set, ever, other than when the helmet comes off.
It almost makes me sad he gets...
So much credit?
Yeah, everyone goes, the Mandalorian equals Pedro Pascal. I'm like, but without those distinct body movements, without the two men in the suit, you just have a voice actor. It's no different for an animated show for him then.
Yes. And I don't want to take credit away from him, but I don't think the others are getting enough credit. And I'm glad you're bringing this up. I'm glad we've done a couple other stories talking about him too, because again, it's not about trying to dismiss what Pedro is doing as much as
honoring the other kind of contributions.
Especially the more we hear, and they're doing quite a bit.
With a character who's in a suit like that, those body movements are crucial.
They're everything.
They're everything. He has to know exactly how to... I mean, we've heard them say over and over, all these actors, how difficult it is to act within the helmets, because the vision is so obscured. So hearing him talk about it and how the movements and everything go is really interesting to me.
It was funny. We were watching, I think it's the second episode when they go to Mandalore, and we've actually, I think, seen it a couple times now. But he gets out of the ship, he gets out of the N1, and we're like, can you imagine how hard that is? Because he makes it look smooth and graceful, and he's wearing this big bulky suit. He can't see it. He's getting out of this cockpit that he's like shoved into.
And you have to like fight every urge to try and look down at your feet because A, you're not going to see them anyway with that on, and B, it's not going to look cool.
No, it doesn't look cool when Mando's like, where's my footing? No, he just like gets out of the kind of glides out of the ship and gets down.
Steps
and it's like,
down and you're like,
yeah, we were both like, that's more impressive than I think 99% of people are probably going to realize, because that is hard to do what he just did.
He's taken dance classes in school, and he credits the experience as beneficial to his role in Mandalorian. He even, to prep for this movement role, studied kabuki, which is a form of Japanese theater. He says, "It was like a movement class. Understanding the subtlety, understanding why we have steps in the salsa, things like that. Every movement means something. Every movement has to be a kill move, and it has to have a certain structure." He's right.
No, he's absolutely right.
There's no wasted movements. The Mandalorian doesn't waste movement.
He can't. I mean, that's how so much is conveyed through his movement and is just his posture. Mm-hmm. Yes, the voice, again, of Pedro Pascal through the helmet is important, but it's so much in body language.
It is. All the Mandalorians have to convey so much in their movement because we cannot see the expressions on their faces.
Yeah, imagine how much they have to consciously be aware of. And I know actors in general have to be consciously aware of what they're doing with their bodies, but more so here because you have to convey everything through that. You can't use your face at all. Mm-hmm. It'd be a fun game, and I'm sure there's probably a game where you just body language. You put a bag over your face, and it's like charades without seeing somebody's face.
It's like texting in a way.
In a way, because it is, sort of.
You think about texting, and you look at and you read a text, and if there's no emojis and things or LOLs symbolizing things, you might take a text message entirely the wrong way.
Yes.
Because you're not seeing someone's face to see how or even their body movements to see how they're trying to convey a message to you. You're just reading something flat on a screen and interpreting for yourself what you think they're saying.
Yeah, emojis are actually important, I think. I always use emojis just because I try to...
Or putting down the JK or the LOL so people are like, oh, they understand,
kidding. The context of it a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Because just words sometimes are, you forgot the milk could be, you forgot the milk? Or, you forgot the milk again.
Yeah. It's a totally different thing, and he is conveying this through body language. So much information is we're receiving through the body language without seeing a face. It's great. Wayne says that he channeled the cowboys of old into the personality of Mando, which
Definitely
makes
see that,
sense.
yep.
I mean...
Well, his father, or grandfather, excuse me.
He says, like, if you put your hand on the pommel of a gun, you gotta pull it. They're not threatening the gun, the guns aren't threatening. He says what they do is they give you time, and if you don't do whatever it is they're asking, boom. Just the way you do your stances and everything has to mean things. It's amazing. It feels kind of poetic in a way. Like in a sense that we're doing a cowboy western type show, and here is the grandson of legendary
godfather
John
of
Wayne.
Cowboy western, you could say.
Coming to Star Wars, which it's heavily inspired by work
that he did,
John
that
Wayne.
His grandfather. Yeah, exactly. I don't think that genre... I mean, I'm not an expert on it, so don't get me wrong, but I don't think the genre is what it is without John Wayne, of course.
No. Brendan Wayne also discussed a number of points about what's in store for viewers for the remaining 4 episodes. Dun dun dun. For starters, the 5th episode will be taking a slightly different approach from the previous ones.
Curious.
Yes. Kind of exploring
all
a different
4 episodes
sort
have done a different
of,
approach.
It says it's going to be sort of exploring a different genre for the next episode.
Oh boy.
He says...
Brace for impact.
So they try to give you something different to work with in this show. And this season was no exception. And you'll see it in the next episode. You're going to see something very different than you've seen in this presentation, and it's so amazing.
Dr. Pershing will be in the suit this week.
Well, the fact that he knows everything, does this mean Mando will be doing something new, or just he knows something new is coming?
I would imagine I don't think he's going to get the whole, if it's I'm sure he didn't know what happened in the Pershing episode, right? He probably didn't get the whole script there.
No, he knows the beginning and the end.
So it's probably Mando related.
Mm-hmm. He also explained his favorite episode in the season hasn't aired yet, and he hypes up the finale. He says for different reasons, different episodes have a lot of meaning, whether it's enjoyment of the cast that came in for the episode, or the director I get to work with, or the story point I get to uphold in this moment. I don't think I've had my favorite episode air yet. There are some things that happen in the final episode that are pretty epic. He also had interesting things to say regarding playing Mando and how he feels about it. He said, I do take a lot of dignity in wanting to tell Mando's story and wanting it to be honest and not shortcut so we can do this and that or whatever. It matters to me. He matters to me. His creed, his physicality, my acting within it. Even though Pedro's gonna voice over anything that I'm doing, those things matter to me. If you're gonna take the time to hire me and pay me, I want to do what we've done from the beginning. And Lateef and I working together, and when he doesn't feel safe, he and I take responsibility for Mando and what he's doing, and it means a lot to us. I like how seriously they take it.
Me too.
That they understand the gravitas of this role, even though it does sound, it's a little interesting that they're like, yeah, even though we know Pedro's going to come in and he's going to over-talk.
Get all the credit.
I mean, how many times do they not even know what things get changed in the voice lines that they've been reading on the script, or what they think they're portraying, and then the voice lines change, and...
It's got to be weird. It's gotta be a little rough to not get as much credit as I think they do deserve. Mm-hmm. Because especially with Pedro's doing, it seems like Pedro is in everything these days. Like he's a great actor. Again, I don't want to take anything like The Last of Us, no matter what you think about it. He's phenomenal in that role.
He really is, yeah.
So he's a great actor, but it feels like he's outshining some people who are maybe doing quite a bit for this character.
Doing quite a bit. When asked about his favorite scenes, Wayne gave a spoiler-free overview about what he liked about an upcoming scene between bo-katan and Din Djarin. There's a scene coming up with Bo and Mando, and it is... I don't know which version they chose as far as what was going back and forth between us, but I think it's going to... Well, I had a great time doing that, and it was a lot of varying emotions came here and there, and this is just such a really cool quality that I felt like I was able to play around in as an actor. Which most of the time you're not aware of it. You're in the moment and you go, but there's something about that. The do-si-do that we had, while physical and verbal, was super intense, and I think it's going to be really cool. I think you're going to really enjoy it.
What kind of do-si-do are they talking about?
I'm wondering if they're going to fight officially for the Darksaber.
That's what I'm wondering.
I mean, to talk about it's physical and verbal...
I can imagine a different do-si-do between these two, which a lot of fans would be happy about.
They can't take the helmets off anymore.
Well, we could just go take a bath afterwards. We might need one.
Don't even. Do you just rent out time at the Living Waters?
Maybe. No, but I mean, that's an interesting statement, and I think it implies a tussle of some kind.
Tussle, I would definitely agree.
For the Darksaber.
I think this might be like maybe an official challenge or just a training session between the two.
Could be, yeah.
She is a warrior, maybe she's a little out of practice, and they're like, okay, well, let's spar.
She did not look out of practice against the Grievous Transformer eye thing.
No. When talking kind of about the future, Wayne explained that he does have an idea of the 4th season of Mandalorian, what it's going to look like narratively, and he also knows some stuff about Ahsoka.
Oh,
which is interesting.
Because he's going to be in there. Come on, man.
Well, the fact that he seems to know so much about Ahsoka almost makes me feel like, yes, he is going to be in there, or maybe he's doing a body acting for another character.
Maybe they'll let him just have a real character
maybe,
in there.
maybe he has his own character.
I think everybody...
Maybe he's Thrawn.
I truly believe both these guys should have a character in universe as well.
I want
Helmet
them
off character, just, even if it's an alien, you're on screen for 2 minutes, give him something.
Give him a character.
Yeah.
But what he says, I've heard the arc of it, and I know John is done writing it for season 4. Ahsoka, I know what Dave's vision looks like, and we know that he loves the samurai. End result, it's going to be beautiful. The way, God, I really don't want to get everyone's hopes up if they don't feel the same way I do, but it's like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, the way that it hit me. The majesty, the tapestries, and the beautiful kind of... There was always this kind of billowing feel of movement. The samurai feel. I really do feel like that's the presence Rosario as Ahsoka, in the presence of her, in the way she took to this role, in the way she attacked her physicality, in the way her stunt doubles and everybody involved. Ahsoka is going to have a flow and beauty that I cannot wait to see.
Crouching Ahsoka, Hidden Ezra?
Hidden Thrawn.
Both. That gets me excited.
Yes, the fact that he was even there and he must have seen some of this. Could he be another character on the show, or is Mando somehow going to show up?
Mando's going to show up.
Oh, I want him to have his own character. Like, maybe he's coming for a different character.
I hope so.
On the show.
Like I was just saying, I would love to see him out of suit and doing something on his own, being his own character.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to imagine Mando's going to be, like in the first episode, he's got to hand off Grogu and be like, okay, you can take her for your season. Just bring him back for season 4 of mine.
Here's his field trip permission slip.
Yeah.
Lastly, Wayne had some interesting words to say about Boba Fett, which could be a tease for him coming back this season.
He's getting like 2 episodes.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. Next episode of The Mandalorian's strange because it's a Boba Fett episode. Surprise.
He says, Boba Fett is the best kind of friend you can ever have. You know you can count on the guy when you need him, and sometimes you don't even know you need him, and he comes.
Boba Fett confirmed.
I feel like it. Well, Tamora Morrison said he wanted a chance to...
Real Boba Fett?
To
Wink.
Kind of redeem himself as Boba Fett.
Why ever would
he
feel that way?
He's like, hey, Boba Fett, sometimes, you don't even know you need him, and he comes.
I would imagine Boba Fett can help out pretty much any situation
Boba Fett makes it better?
Yeah, real Boba Fett makes everything better.
It's like the butter versus margarine commercial.
Yes, real butter, no margarine. We got the book of margarine is what we got. I want the book of Butterfett.
Butterfett. Not to be confused with buttercorn.
Not to be confused at all with buttercorn. Which, if you
watch our Meme Mondays,
you'll know it, yes.
That joke has come up over and over.
Well, I think that is going to be all we got for you this time. So now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any and all of today's news. And let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.